Hey Debbie, welcome to the Community Living Golf Tournament. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll go ahead and let that play through a few times, put you back in your address position, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you here in your address position, let's just take a look at your setup. Your posture looks good. You got your spine straight and on a tilt. Legs come down in a nicely unlocked position. Your arms hang in toward you, then your forearms work away, and then the club works out to the ball. So we like to sort of change that position a little bit with respect to your spine. Your balance looks good as well. So what we would do here, if I were working on your golf game, is I would get you to sort of try and push your tail out and up a little bit, and push your sternum out and up and forward a little. And what that's ultimately going to do, it's going to put your spine on a little bit more of an angle. It's also going to put you therefore into your golf ball a little bit more, and from there we'll go ahead and let your legs continue to just unlock as they are. They might be a little too bent right now, so you can straighten them up just a hair. And then from here, the most important thing is getting your arms to hang down slightly out in front of you, but off that tilted spine, sort of creating this relationship here. Right now your inner triceps are sort of running across the side of your rib cage, and your arms are too close to you. So trying to take you from this tall starting position with your arms really tight and you sort of sitting back on your heels to a position where your tail's out, sternum and head are forward, center of gravity gets displaced a little bit more over the balls of the feet. Let the arms hang down a lot more naturally, let the club work out, but definitely not having your arms congested to your body like they are. So this would position you a little bit further away from the ball. And we're going to see the influence that this would have with respect to perhaps your entire golf swing, or for sure definitely through impact. Let's go ahead and take a look at your alignment. We can see your feet are a little bit closed, aiming out to the right just a hair. Theoretically, your club face is supposed to be running parallel to your feet, and parallel lines on camera would have the appearance of converging. So we are set up sort of to the right corner of the fairway where it's meeting the rough, and center of fairway sort of back over here in this direction. So we definitely are set up a little bit closed and aiming out to the right. So we might see some form of a compensation where we're trying to hit the ball back to the left during the swing motion. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison. We'll bring up model swing of Chella Choi. What we see is we see some color-coded lines here on the screen. They're just here for visual reference as it pertains to the swing and swing plane. So we can see with Chella, see how her center of gravity is a little bit more on the balls of her feet. Her sternum and her head are a little bit more out over her toes. She has a little bit more incline to that spine. The arms that hang down and out in front. So her triceps aren't hanging right into sort of her rib cage or her belly section. Okay? From here, we want to initiate a takeaway where we rotate the shoulders, draw the arms and hands back as well as the golf club, and in doing so we want to make sure the golf club theoretically would be traveling back along the red line. As we continue to bring this golf club back through a short period of the takeaway, we want to keep turning, but we now need to start establishing some wrist hinge where we're bringing the club from below the hands to above the hands, and then working the club from red up to yellow while we complete that rotation. As we continue to take that golf club up to the top, we want to see the left arm situate itself pretty much around and on that yellow line. Club shaft can be within the blue-yellow V zone, but we're hoping to keep the club shaft and the club head a little closer to yellow than to blue. We want to have full shoulder rotation. We want to do this about a very stable right leg and keep the weight on the instep of the right foot. With you, we watch you initiate your takeaway. You draw your hands back very nicely. Shoulders are kicking in. Golf club's coming back on a pretty decent plane. It's slightly inside or underneath the red line at this point in time. We want to start to see some wrist hinge. So one of the other things that we would definitely take a look with you, it looks like you have a 10-finger grip. We'd like to learn how to create an interlock or an overlap, get those hands connected a little bit more, and also physically talk about the positioning of your grip, because right now your grip looks a little strong, just meaning the positioning, not the pressure. So when your grip is strong, it's going to have a tendency or influence the club face to be closed, and that's what we sort of see here. The golf club initially coming back is very, very closed, And it's going to inhibit your wrist hinge a little bit. So you can see that you struggle a little bit with your wrist hinge. We got that 10-finger grip, almost like we're playing baseball. Club face is closed, difficult to hinge. Nonetheless, when you get to the top of your backswing, I mean, you're doing some really fundamentally excellent things with respect to your turn. You rotate well on your axis here, maintaining your spinal tilt. We also see you create this rotation about a very stable right leg. Your arm unit, with respect to the triangular position in your arms, looks excellent, and the club looks like it's in excellent position relative to your arms as well. So top of the backswing looks very solid. We would have liked to just gotten to this position via creating a little bit better wrist hinge, and also through having a little bit better grip, and also doing this off a little bit of a better posture foundation where the spine was angled a little bit more and perhaps a little further away from the ball with the arms a little further away from us. Anyways, as we create our transition back in the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left. We want to fire our knees and our hips to the target, unwind the core and fire the hands. And in doing so, we want to bring the golf club from yellow back down on top of red. And that's exactly what we see here with Chela Choi. The golf club has returned back to being on plane. The other thing we want to point out at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead form and the golf club. Refer to this as the backward check mark. Simply means the club head is remaining above and behind the hands, therefore we're retaining angle. This is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in the golf swing, let alone getting a return back to plane as we've already witnessed, which is also going to allow us to hit the ball straight in accordance to where we're aimed. With you, as we watch your transition back into the ball, do a good job dropping your hands and arms. That looks really, really good there. Let me back it up a frame. So we can basically pay attention to the relationship of the lead form and the golf club. So we have some resemblance there of that backwards check mark. We're retaining angle. Club head's above and behind the hands, so that's great. So creating some power in the golf swing won't be that much of an issue for you. At this point in time, the only thing, the club hasn't fully returned back to the plane line like we see with Chela Choi. As you continue to come into the golf ball, we'll just track that club head. You see the club head fall right back onto the plane there. So the club head's still above and behind, so that's excellent. And looks like it's tracking from a pretty decent on-plane position. So if we just connected the dots here, we can see that your golf club is definitely descending into the ball from an on-plane position. This will allow you to hit the ball straight in accordance to where you're aimed. Now, one of the issues was, again, we talked about the fact that your feet were in a slightly closed position. Parallel lines have the appearance of converging, and you're aiming out here. So the problem is you're going to hit the ball straight, but you're going to hit the ball straight based on your alignment, which is too far out to the right. So the way you're going to hit the ball or get the ball hopefully back towards the center of the fairway is you're going to shut that club face. One of the things we had talked about was that your grip was a little bit strong. A strong grip produces a closed club face. So hopefully what will happen here is the ball will start out towards where you're aimed. The closed club face will help you create some right to left spin on the golf ball, and that golf ball will hopefully be able to sort of draw back towards the intended target a little bit. We'll go ahead and clear this stuff off the screen. We'll take a look at that club face, and we do see the club face definitely shutting down pretty aggressively. So the club face actually gets closed at impact. It will not start out to the right where you're aimed because the club face is so closed. You actually end up starting the ball on line. That ball's going to have right to left spin. It's going to continue to move left. And then the other issue with the fact that the club face is so closed at impact, you've de-lofted the club. So there's no trajectory to your shot. The ball takes off too low and stays low. So that's something you would definitely want to improve to help you maintain the loft on your golf club, increase the trajectory or launch angle that the shot takes off on, which is going to help you maximize your distance a lot. As you carry yourself through, good motion through to the finish. You pretty much get up on the toe of your right foot. That displaces the weight on your left side. Your hips square up to the target. Your hands are high. Club's back in behind you. So good looking golf swing right there. You see with Chela Choi coming into the ball, we square up the face. You can see her launch angle is considerably higher than yours, and she carries herself through to the finishing position with the same sort of type of footwork. Right heel coming off the ground, up on the toe of the right foot. All the weight gets displaced on the left side, and we see some similar characteristics here through to the finishing position for sure. Golf swing overall, as a little recap, got some nice athletic motion here. hands work really well. They come back, they fire through. So that's an excellent job with your hands and your hand speed. Your body works well. You coil back, uncoil through. That's great. Get through to a finishing position because you create pretty good footwork there. You want to try and keep your balance where you just keep that weight on the left side, stay up on the toe of the right foot without falling over. And I mean, we can see here that, again, your alignment's out to the right. You got a great looking downswing that comes down on plane. Unfortunately, we're aiming too far right, so your brain is saying, I got to hit this to the left. So you over-release the club, and you're actually trying to get your body to help you hit the ball back to the left, and this is one of the reasons why you sort of lose your balance a little bit on your feet. Okay? Anyways, great athletic motion, looks wonderful. If you were to get yourself on a little bit of a program here, you could obviously become a lot more consistent, hit the ball straighter and further, because you do have some really nice athletic qualities with respect to what you're doing. So if you ever want to work on your golf game, I'm out at Glen Abbey in Oakville. I'd be happy to help you out. And also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments by any chance, or sit in the committee for any golf tournaments, and you're looking for a unique gift to give to your participants, feel free to contact me. All my contact information is at the end of this video, and I'd be happy to set that up for you as well. So anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video, and hope you have a great summer, and perhaps we'll hear from you. Take care.